Alô, alô. Hã? Apie 10 sekundžių.
Tomai, aš visgi turėsiu išvaryti. Tai
Kaip?
aš turėsiu visgi išvaryti.
Aha,
Nežinau, gal 10 minučių pabūsiu ir turiu varyti, nes ten asmeniniai reikalai.
okay.
Tai va, tai nežinau, ten absent būsiu ar neužskaitysi mane absent.
Va, kodėl pirmas 10 minučių? Ne, nu žinau, jeigu reikia kažkur, tai žinau, viskas ok. Bet, nu, jeigu yra galimybė, tai mes streaminsim, o bendrai, tai šiandien tokie pasitė daugiau... Jo, bet šiandien tokie daugiau klausimų atsakymas per assignments eisim ir panašiai. Ir tokie daugiau praktinė dalis. Tai jeigu šitų klausimų turi, tai sakyk. Ir jeigu šiandien vakare atsilaisvinė, mes šiandien vakare į Tech parką važiuojam, tai prisijung tenais ir dalis. Tai mes po paskaitos važiuojam su Adomu tenais, tai gali...
O kuriam jūs ten pastate būnate?
5 pastate. Ten kai eini, žiūrint, jeigu eini iš Antakalnio, jo, tada tenais 5 namas.
Tai tas prie pats galas?
Pats galas, taip. Labas. Jo, ir tada slekę parašyk. Ir atidarysim. Vidurnakčio nakties, kai maistas pasibaigė arba kava. Ten coworkingas tiesiog, tai ten stalai ir... Bliam, aš su mikrofonu neįtų. A? Su teletabė ausinėm. Tai va, tai jo, ten toks coworkingas ir... Sėdim, dirbam, daromės kažką, tai va. Nu, kaip kada. Kažkas nors iš Turingo tikrai sėdi, tikriausiai. Bet kokiu duotuoju momentu. Nu, Domai, pasiruošęs? Jau?
Matai, dešinė pusė...
Ne, ar tu dešinė pusė rašysi kažką?
Tai gal.
Sakyk.
Tu bišį patraukti?
Šitą Wi-Fi.
Sakyk, žinai.
Tu
žinai, aš per daug laiko viską šitą setapinu, kad sufokinti. Kur tu sėdėsi?
Turingo Hollywoodas, Turing Woodas.
Kažkaip, tu jau atsistosi gerai.
Galim pradėti?
Štai girdėjau.
Pradedam? Well, let's start. Everyone's here. It's 10 minutes late. Adomai, kaip iš attendance žymit? Ką tai reiškia? Binary reikia. Vienas, nu. Laisvė. Yra. Aš dar ne visų vardų žinau. Lukas yra. Dovilė. Nėra? Ne. Okay. Justina. Eglė. Donatas. Donatas Čeponis. Benas Zabita, Karolis Mališauskas, Vytautas Mikalais, Eglė, Elvinas, Deividas, Vilius, labas, Jaroslav, Iveta, Julita, Tadas, Dmitrijus, Inga, Mikalojus, Marius, Amit, Lukas, Simona, Marijus, Darius. Viskas. Nieko nepraleidom? Gerai. Vilius. Praleidom. Gerai. Okay, so how was the assignment? Who started the assignment this week already? Raise of hands. Sorry, can you repeat your question? Why?
No, I just don't know how to create the prototype of the examining where to do this.
Carlos, yeah? Carlos.
So I'll have
Yeah.
to repeat the question.
Yes, sorry.
So I just didn't know where to create the prototype of the database. So like on what software or tool.
Did you go through the lectures?
Yeah.
MySQL workbench.
Yeah, but it's not like you
Okay,
have,
yeah.
this is why we just create like a normal database, not like a prototype.
Okay, one sec, I'll show you. Chuxari.t. Okay, so the question was, where do you create the prototypes in the databases?
Well, if they are
Yeah.
prototypes,
So in a course, when you go through here, then designing database and MySQL Workbench. So this lecture, there is, we give a tutorial on MySQL Workbench. There's the data types, conventions, and wait, where is it? Huh? Wait, there was more.
In the blog section.
Yeah, there was the video on the blog.
Okay, I thought it was gone.
okay.
So yeah, if you go to the blog, password is Turing, and then you have a video. Well, this.
How to create the ERD for a simple blog. And we have this wireframe here, and the first thing that we need to do is to see what collections we need to
So
use.
basically, yeah, so there's a video that explains it all. I believe we also have a video somewhere that explains how to install it. No? Okay, so MySQL Workbench is the software we use.
Can I use SQL Pro? Is it like there's...
What is it? I don't know, I've never used it.
Yeah, because we use it at work, so I'd like to
Yeah.
learn how to use that.
If there's any other software you will use somewhere else, feel free. The goal is just the like a database. So whenever you make it, you can actually just take either a screenshot of it or a picture, and just send it to us. So that's like how you hand it in, right? It's just like, because what we care about is the structure and how do you form it and how do you plan it, right? So just take a screenshot of it, send it to us. So whatever software you do, we do everything in MySQL Workbench, but whatever you prefer, that's okay. Yeah? So who already has MySQL Workbench working, up and running? Okay, okay. Adomas has it as well. Cool, so did you have any problems installing it? What about the others? You just didn't get there yet, or there was any problems? In the process? In progress? Yeah? Okay. So today actually, so we have 2 hours, but I want to make more and more, like I've said at the beginning, the goal of the lecture is not just to sit here and listen to me talking. It's just like the more we practically do something, the better it is. So actually, so today we're gonna again just repeat some concepts about the databases. We're gonna go through an assignment or two and just do it together. Think about it again, like we did last lecture. And actually tomorrow, the lecture tomorrow is gonna be open questions. So if you have questions, come. If you don't, feel free to stay home. But the goal is that you have to get the assignments done. And if you feel like just doing the assignments is better than just coming here and listening to other people getting their questions answered, you can just stay home, right? So it's optional tomorrow, right? So we're gonna be here anyways, but it is optional. So especially in databases, there's not, like in this topic, in this week we have, there's not much theory you can just explain and repeat, and I feel it's a waste of time if I do that. So it's just better if we get everything clear, just repeat it a few times, and then off you go to work. Yeah, does it make sense? Okay. So again, let's start with, let's just skim through the basic things we've learned about last time. So could someone explain me how do we name these things one by one? Huh?
Entities?
Okay, so what's an entity?
Entity is a table, and the one line is an entry.
Yes. So what is this?
Relations?
What kind of a relationship is it?
One-to-many.
Okay. What other relationships do we have?
One-to-one.
Okay. Can someone give me an example of one-to-one? Okay. Or no, like we talked in the history, you can get two. One-to-many?
Countries and cities.
Yes, many to many.
Items and customers, no?
Yeah, like in a shop, if you have items, items that like is not a unique item, but it's like an item, a category or something. Yeah, so entities, tables, they have relationships, and what is this? Country ID, where does it come from?
Comes from country and
Okay, so what do we use it for?
To get data from
To create relationship.
countries, table, as a foreign key.
Yes.
to form a
So is it unique?
Country.
Is it unique?
country ID.
Yeah. Okay. Easy, right? There's no trick question here. Okay, so let's go through. So one-to-one, we talked about it. People and passports. One-to-many is customer and orders, for example, and many-to-many also could be orders and items. So in that sense. So could someone explain me the normalizations? So there's 3, right? First form, second form, and third form. Could someone explain it to me?
It's like, I've watched the lecture and I still can't say exactly what it is, but it's trying to split the data into the smallest parts.
Yeah. So, for example, a name, like it says here, actually it's on the screen.
Yeah.
First name and a last name, right? Are there any times where we don't do that? Like practically, you would just say it doesn't make sense to have both. I just have one. Is there? Or do we always have to have 2?
For names?
Yeah. So the thing is, on one hand, we always say, yes, always do normalize your data and make sure it's all clean and clear. But at the point when you start fully understanding it and like you know what you're doing, and for example, you're creating a small application and you care a lot about easiness of reading the code or something like that, of course, it's at least I use full names sometimes if I know I don't need a first name, right, or a last name. So as a rule, you should follow it, but again, don't just take rules for granted. Always try to think, like, do I really need it? Am I going to use it, and how am I going to use it? Okay, second form normalization. Anyone? So second form normalization, basically we have one table with a lot of data in it, and there's a purchases and cashiers, right? So here we do have cashier ID, name, and first name and last name, but a cashier should be like a separate table for itself because it's like an entity, right? So the solution here, like it says again, just create a separate table for a cashier and have its first name and a last name separate, and then you link them through the ID. So that kind of a data structure just makes more sense, and it's easier to read again. It's easier in your SQL structure. So once you see it, you can know that cashier is in this purchase, and then you go to another table to see the cashier's first name and the last name. Yes, third form. So the third form is that basically the attributes that don't they're like not like a foreign key to another table, they should not be dependent on each other. Make sense? Or did I say something wrong? So they should not depend on each other. So say in a table you have two different columns that could be in a separate tables. I mean, if they do depend on each other, that means it's some other kind of relationship, right? It's a relationship between two keys. For example, I cannot think of one actually.
Try and draw something on the board.
Just cannot think of an example. Wait, let's think about it. What is it here? Okay, so let's see what did the Andy wrote. If you have an article table with a primary key article ID, okay, let's draw it up. So you have an articles table. With a primary key article ID. So that's an ID here. And there are two other non-key attributes, producer name and producer rating. So P name and P rating.
What does it mean, non-key attributes?
That so this one is a primary key, meaning it is like a unique to this table, and there's a foreign key which is unique to some other table, right?
And non-key?
They don't depend, like there's no relationship to any other table, right? So producer name, you cannot trace down anything in other tables, like it doesn't have anything to do with other tables, right? So either foreign key or a primary key, those have relationships with some tables.
And
These
the
don't.
rest of them are just non-keys,
Yes, you could say that.
like simple entries which don't have any relationships.
Not entries, columns.
Column.
Columns. And entry is a whole line. Yeah. Producer's rating together with producer's name should be put in a separate table and linked to articles through foreign keys. Yeah, so actually it's similar to 2, or am I mixing something up? The rating of a producer is not dependent on article ID, which is the primary key, but on producer name, which is not a key attribute. So again, so it's a very similar example. Maybe I'm just missing something myself. So producer name and producer rating, this goes to a separate table, and then we can link them through producer name. So basically, I think the difference that Andy meant in here is that producer name becomes a foreign key, right? So it stays here, but the producer rating goes in here, and producer name becomes a foreign ID in some other table. That is the difference between second and the third one, actually. So because the second one, the cashier ID was there as well, so it's like a unique one. Anyways. Okay, so this is confusing to myself as well. So normalization, also repeated. Again, just check it. I'll make sure to link some videos or some content online on it as well, so there's more information, because here we just only included one page, so I think we should address it more. So MySQL Workbench, everyone really needs to download it and update it and just work with it, and also get used to working with it. I don't work with it myself because I don't work with PHP, but it's a crucial part of what you're going to do with your development further on, right? So it's very important to get to know the application, or some other ones like you use, I'm not sure. SQL Pro. No, it's just like, sorry?
Like, it doesn't matter which backend language you use. It's the same tools. You can use the same tools for any backend language to create.
Yeah, just for creating these, yeah. I mean, if you just...
You don't write PHP, but you write...
If you just use it for planning, I mean, I don't use workbenches and I don't work with MySQL. So this one specifically is MySQL Workbench, right? So I don't work with MySQL, and I don't usually, I just draw it out actually on paper always. If I need to do some planning, I just draw it out.
What do you use to create the database? Just different.
Sorry?
So how do you create database for your applications?
How do I draw them?
How do you create them?
I work with Ruby and Rails.
Yeah.
It's very different. You don't need
Okay.
external things. Like I showed before, we have migrations, and in migrations you do have, let me show you.
Yeah, I get it now. So the framework does it.
Yeah. So it's a like that's what I meant by I'm not working with PHP, because here there are migrations, and that's the syntax you write. So you create table users, do da 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 da. You do it differently. Yeah.
But MySQL is really easy program. You can start in 15 minutes with that. Create database.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Okay. So actually, Thomas could add much more on it. So when he takes over next week, he'll tell you way more about cool PHP stuff he can do. Okay, so data types are also very important, and conventions. So, but let's jump straight to the example. So let's do a blog and sample database. Did everyone read the subject? Just take a second to read it now. What was the wireframe? Yeah, so actually videos are like the solutions, but make sure to do it yourself first before doing that.
What? So videos contain solutions too?
Sorry? Yeah, they're kind of a guide on how your line of thought should be. Like it gives out the answer. Okay, so let's start with this. Does everyone have a password? Yeah. Everyone knows it already? Okay, so what are the what kind of information do we have on this page?
User information, what is needed for user?
Yeah, so first off, we can start with the user, right? So let's. Yeah, so the table is users. That's a good point. So what does it have? ID. Username. Does it have a email? Email and password, right? For now, let's just assume we don't store password in plain text. We do encrypt it or do something more secure with it. Yeah. So what else does it need? Does it have something else?
Created that and
Yes, created that and updated that. Something else? No? Cool. What else do we have?
You would have like an access token as well.
Sorry?
You would have an access token or some sort of token for this kind of application, so that the user can stay logged in.
You are, yeah, for sessions.
It's not visible here.
You could have like session table for the tokens with the Well, for yeah, it's a good point, but for now we could just ignore it. What else? What's another entity we have?
posts.
Yeah. So what does the post have?
And user ID.
Sorry?
ID.
All users. Yeah, ID.
First of all, ID. Yes, user ID. What else?
Post title. So
Does it have a title? What's the title? Just text. Yeah? Text. Yeah? That's what you mean. This one, right? Yeah. So text. Something else? Hmm?
Comment should be a separate entity for me.
Something else that the posts have?
date. Yes.
Sorry?
Created date and posted.
Yes.
Also, should have like a user ID who created the post.
User ID.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I missed it.
That's it? Something else? Okay, let's move on. Just draw it here. What's the next thing?
Comments.
So what does the comments have? Yes?
User ID and post ID.
Is it user ID?
But we forgot post time.
It's created at, updated at. Like, I just write it like this, but created at, updated at. So in comments, does it have post ID or user ID?
Both.
Why?
Because comment is in post.
Yeah.
And comment is written by user.
Yeah. So say if we add to comment a post ID, can we track down the user?
No.
If comment has a post ID.
Yeah, we can, because the post entity has the user ID.
But we will track post user, yeah? But we need comment user. User who wrote comment.
Yeah. So so the thing is, there's this user, right?
Yeah.
User who writes a post, right? And we have user ID, like here. That's how we know it.
Yeah.
User ID. And the post, like someone writes a comment on a post. Yeah, and so what are the two things?
Yeah. We need to know the ID of a user who wrote the comment, which is not
Yes.
necessarily the same.
Yes. So that was my point. So in a comment, you have a user ID, but it's different than post user ID, right? So like you could go comments post and post user, but that's not the same as comments user. Yeah? So comments post ID. Yes, and comment again has a, say, like this user, and there's a user ID. Yeah. So in comments, there's a user ID. User ID and post ID. Something else?
Created.
But also text, like comments.
Yeah, text.
User ID, post ID. Yes, text. Created that, updated that. Yeah. Okay. Something else that we have? So there's users, posts, comments. Is that it? Okay, so let's try and create a user, right? So say
Maybe we would want to have like a user photo or something, so we could have like a
yeah, sure.
photo.
Okay, how? So what kind of a column would it be? What kind of a data type?
With users in the users entity, right?
Yeah, but what kind of a data type would it be? How would you
Oh,
how would you?
can we
Huh?
store it like
Block or something, yeah?
Sorry,
Block? No?
Adomas, can you store an image directly in MySQL?
Image ID?
you post to
Need
what
a
you say?
way where we can find that
path?
image.
Yeah.
Path.
Usually, yeah, usually
Okay.
store
Yeah.
actually image.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. Again, like there's a lot of huge differences, so that's why I'm asking Adomas, because he knows better than MySQL part. But for example, what I always have is a URL, and I even use external third-party like applications to store it, right? So for example, what I use always is Amazon S3, is a cloud server, and you always store it in there, and then you just store in user, say image, and then you store image URL in there, right? Or other way, like for example, what I have in other parts, there's a struct, which is like a structure, which also has like URL to thumbnail, to large image, and to small image, and that kind of stuff, and information about image, if you need more information, but basically the URL is okay. So you would have probably a text, not a string, because string is like limited, or varchar with a very long, very long length. So say image, yeah, or a profile picture. Okay, so let's say we're creating a user. So what's its ID? Okay, ID 1, yes. Say email Tata, password Toto, created at say well, just let's do T, and T plus 1 is updated at. Okay, so you updated it after you created it. And image, we can do without an image for now. So, and what are the relationships between these tables? So there's users, posts, and comments.
So a user can have many to post, many links.
The host can have only one user.
Yeah. So users have, I think that's how it's in MySQL bench, right? One user has many posts. One post,
Can you have
many comments. Whoops. Something that we're missing?
one user can have many comments.
Yes. So users can also comment. So user can also have many comments. Cool. So okay. So we created this user. Say we're creating a post. The user is writing a post. What goes in here? So what's the ID? It's a post. ID 1, right? User ID 1. Text 22. Oh, we used Tata already. Created a T plus 1. Yeah. Okay. And then let's create another user. 2 TT. What else can we do? Tata. T plus 1. Cool. So now say TT, so that's this. TT is making a comment on a post of Tata, which text is tutu. So, yeah. So TT is making a comment on Tata's post. What do we write here? What happens? Comment ID 1. Okay, that's the first one. User ID. TT. That's 2. Post ID. 1. Text. What did we use? We used TT. Come on, let's get creative. We used Tata. Okay, let's use Mama. T plus 1. Cool. So that makes sense. Yeah. So that's like a thing. I'm not sure again what Andy did in the video. I'm pretty sure he has. I hope he has something similar. Let's see what he suggests as a solution.
Make the in one post have many comments.
Okay. So users. Oops. So users, comments, posts. One user has many comments, one user has many posts, and there's posts created, updated, user ID, and in comments there's user ID, and in users there's email. So he doesn't have in comments the post ID, which is weird, but maybe he explains it.
Between comment.
He adds it later.
For this wireframe.
Okay, so he adds the post at the end. So exactly what Andy suggests. So we got it. Cool. Does anyone has any questions?
In this video, we're gonna take a
No? All clear? How easy. Okay, so the next assignment. Did everyone read it? So now we have to add likes to a blog. So what it says, building up on the simple blog created before, let's use Facebook post event as an example and add the possibility to like a post. Use the model created before, determine and create any tables and relationships you need to add this functionality. So a blog, a post could be liked, right? So let's add likes to a post just like Facebook has, for example, right? So what else do we need to add here?
Maybe likes.
Sorry?
We need a separate tag for
Okay. What does it have? ID, say text,
username.
created at.
Text, we don't need text for like.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Use the
Yes.
Because we want to know who liked it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
User ID, yeah. Something else? Created at, updated at? Post ID, yeah. We have to know what post was liked. Something else?
Maybe dates.
Yeah, I just wrote them already. Create that, update that. Okay, so there are likes in a. So users can like posts, right? So what's the relationship?
Many users can like many posts, but likes can have many posts can have many likes.
Yes. Yeah. So
From the post.
yeah. So posts can have many likes. You cannot like multiple posts with one like. That's impossible.
But do we need to add a column to posts for likes?
how you would get the number of likes?
Yeah.
So you can either keep a track of it in posts column, like you said. So you would have something like ID, likes count, right? So whenever you have a like on a post, you just increment it by 1, make it +1, and you keep track of it. Another way is we're gonna learn about SQL, so making a request to a database. And basically the way you would do it, you would say there's like as a command to your database, select likes where post ID is this, and count however many of them you find. So
Well,
that's,
like,
you gotta.
Imagine what it looks like in Facebook with all the likes.
Did anyone Google the friends thing? Oh, come on. Not fun. Okay, so yeah.
Did you?
It was an assignment to you. So yeah, likes, post ID, you make a request to via SQL, and that's how you find the count of it. Yeah, or you keep a track of likes count. Again, both ways work. If you have a huge application, I believe, I'm not actually sure, you should do tests which one is faster. Either you keep a likes or someone unlikes it, so you have to again do -1 or something. Both ways work, but which one is better, which one is faster, you have to test. Yeah? Cool. So this is kind of straightforward. And I suggest we go to Amazon to talk about that one. Is internet down? Huh? It's not loading. Oh, Teachable is down. It's no good. Okay.
Should try reloading. Yeah.
Oh, he's back. So let's go to Amazon. Yes. So yeah, so these two were sample ERDs, right? And these two are assignments and optional assignments. So in these we don't have any videos inside of them, but I believe we do have solutions in here still. Again, doesn't work. Oops. Does it? We do have solutions in here, but I really encourage all of you just to think about it and do it before looking at them. Or even not even, I should take them out. So yeah, so Amazon. In this assignment, imagine that you work for Amazon and your team needs to create a database to store the items categories and know which items belong to which categories. First, you start by creating database design. Your task is to create an ERD model for this part. Look at the picture below and create an ERD diagram that allows you to make linkages between items and categories. So, any ideas? Where do we start? So there's items and there's categories. So 2 tables, items and categories. What do they have? So we can already add an ID. I'm pretty sure you know that already, and created that, updated that. Yeah, what else do we need? So what do we have? So this,
Item name?
yes, item names.
Or maybe we need to know the quantity and storage of the item.
Yeah. Okay. So again, like last time we talked about it, would you how would you implement the store quantity, like the storage? Like there's no right answer. It's just an open question. So, what do you guys think? How do you implement storage?
Maybe you would have a separate entity for storage.
Either yes or no, either we have it or not.
But what about quantity?
Like we can count all the inventory.
How do you store it? Okay, so we have a table items that we know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you could probably store the quantity in that table where you have the item, and then whenever you sell it, you update like the quantity. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You decrease it. Yeah. If you have more of it, you increment it. Well, what else does an item need? So just think about just generally like a bigger thing, Amazon. Like imagine Amazon's database, right? They have
Maybe
categories.
like
They
a
have.
barcode or something.
Okay, so you could scan it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else? Items do have a price, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. It's quite crucial. Okay, so what do you think, for example, how when you go to Amazon and you have a suggestion, right? So like you're buying, we can just check that. If I go to Amazon,
Yeah, that comes from user data.
how do you think that thing is stored? So let's go to just anything, echo dot.
Oh, maybe it comes from categories.
I know, this is like a huge,
Yeah, you get suggestions like below of similar items,
Yeah.
right?
So
or like items that kind of match.
so what do you think, how does it work?
Maybe keywords or tags or something like that.
Is it stored in a database?
No, probably not.
Any more ideas? Say this, and okay, so this is a category.
Yeah.
Cannot find it. It changed actually. Well, it just. Let's just search for headphones. So I buy these headphones, and there's like frequently bought together. Okay, so how do you think, for example, they get the frequently brought together? How would you what kind of information or structure you need to get that information? So always think of not first how you're getting or where do you store it, but what kind of information, how do they relate? Like what is it that you can say they're related? Like
Well,
how
you
they.
look at purchases,
Yeah.
the history of purchases, and see what goes together often.
Yeah. So for example, last time we did checkouts. Remember, and like we said, a grocery store checkouts have a lot of items to it, right? So in a checkout, they have a lot of items, and if there's a correlation between one item and another being in the same pack, probably they're related. Return top 2 in this case that come together, yeah. Or possibly they also could be handpicked. So with headphones, of course, you're gonna get a core, but if you have a headphones and you buy another pair of headphones or something else, it's like it could be a weird combination, right? So there's a thing always also with such data is that you cannot always trust it at the face value. You just like what was the story? Microsoft's AI chatbot. What was his name? They gave him some weird name. Anyways, so there was a chatbot and he started tweeting about stuff and this
Some racist things.
yeah, and he became racist very fast. So basically the way it worked is that someone tweets to him and then he reads it, right? And then he learns from it, so he puts it in his data and he kind of adapts. And then people found a bug that if they tweet racist stuff to him, he's gonna become racist because he learns from them. So yeah, so he became racist very fast, and they just took it down because it didn't work. So that's one of the examples of just taking it as the face value. So same like here, there could be some weird combination that you not know. So it's more of a machine learning topic, but it's interesting as well. Okay, so Audio Technica, for example, that gets a suggestion. So what do we need here? So we have already the category name, the item name, say item price, yeah. Item price and categories. What do they have? Okay, name. What do we have here? How do we know item is in some category? Category ID. Okay, let's just say it's here. Category ID. So what's the relationship? Well, it's quite ambiguous, right? So you can say maybe one item can be many categories. Yeah? Or it can be only one. So that's however your website decides to act. So actually that's one of the cases where you decide what's the relationship, because it's up to you how do you create the database. Okay, so and say if we try to get the so that's a bit looking forward to the next week's thing, but it's nice to get you started thinking about that. So for example, how many items do we have in a category? Do we have a relationship for that? Do we have a database structure already for that? To say this category has 50 items? Okay, so say there's a category that says bikes, right? Bikes, and we have 1,000 entries here. Yes? So what is it about those items that could tell us that they're in the same category? If we say how many items there are in this category, on category bikes?
The category ID and the items.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we know how many there are.
Yeah, so you select all the items from the items table that do have the category ID equals the ID of a bike, say it's 5 here, yeah? And then whatever is returned, you get a count of it. That's how you have a count of it, right? Okay, yeah, so this is quite straightforward again. When you're doing the assignments, I encourage you to think more and further about the website. I just thought of it, I'm gonna include one more assignment that I think is gonna be fun. But generally thinking about these at some point, why the smile? So at some point, it gets repetitive, right? IDs created that, updated that, and that kind of stuff. One-to-many is quite straightforward. But the very difficult part is when you start thinking about much larger applications. What I believe is a very nice to learn something is just go on a website, like a website you don't use. Say we can go to some, Quora. So maybe some of you uses it, and then just go to some stories, and then you just go on it and try to observe it and just see what could be what kind of information are we actually storing in. For example, in this page, right? So Quora is a page that people can ask questions about. It's an okay question. So people ask questions, and supposedly industry professionals should answer them, right? So we're not gonna draw it again, but from what you see, what would be the structure, more or less? What are the entities?
Users.
Okay, we have users, of course, so they can authenticate. We do have questions.
We have answers.
What are these? Or yeah? So okay, let's go one by one. So we have a user, right? You see my picture right there. So that is a user, right? So user is going to be user ID, created that, updated that, all the casual things. What is this whole thing, the page we're at? It is a single question. Yeah? So probably there is a questions table, right? So in a question has what? Answers, that's another entity, yeah? That's another table. So yeah, inside of the questions there's a title, there's a text,
Author.
maybe some images, author, so we have what? User ID, right, to trace it back. User that created it. We do have answers, right? What else? What is this? These are like a tags, like tags for questions, right? So people can tag it. So it's either, I'm not sure what's the functionality, but select topic, so you can enter anything, or there is a search. Okay, there is a search, so probably there is a table with all the tags, right, where they store that every possible tag that's ever been used, right? Unlike titles, for example, they probably don't have a separate table for titles, but they do for tags because they could be reused. You're not gonna get a suggestion of titles. 5 things to ask for. So yeah, so they have this, and people can add them. Let's look at the answer. What does the answer have? That's a name, so it's related to a user. Works at Carer, whatever the company is. What is it related to? Sorry?
Occupation.
Of a user, right? So a user table is probably having an occupation. Create at, update at, a text. What are these?
Views.
So how many people have viewed the and have seen the answer? How would you implement that?
So you somehow watch how many users open the question.
Yeah. Well, let's say we do have a method to watch them. How do we store information?
So with the same with like with likes, right? No, there will be too many.
Anyone else? Any ideas?
Somehow
Well, it works
connected
as
to your
well.
profile. I don't know sure.
So how? That's the main question.
It works in a similar way as likes.
Yeah.
But it's just like there will be so much information.
So are you referring that we will make a separate table?
Yeah, if you make a separate entity for views, I don't know, there will be just so much data.
Maybe just a column and increment it.
So what do we? Okay, so that's a great example. What do we have to think about when we're trying to decide this, right? Say we're creating this website, right? You hired a designer, someone that created you this UI, looks very nice, and you want to create the website now. So look at this, there's views, what do you think about? What's your reasoning? So now we're thinking about having a separate entity, a separate table, or for example, storing a count of views in a single answer, right? So just whenever someone views it, increment it, right? Similar like likes. What's the reasoning then?
So can you increment that with SQL commands?
Well, yeah,
in the database?
yeah. There is a way. Just do +1. Yeah. So, but what's the reasoning? Like, what should we think about?
You need to think about scalability because, okay, well, your app is small, so you won't get that many views, but when the user base grows,
Yeah.
it might be problematic to have a separate entity for views because there will be just so much data.
Yeah. So, for example, one way that's different from like, you can unlike stuff. You cannot unview it, probably, right? It's like, I don't want to see it anymore. It's not possible. So it's a bit different, right? If you can unlike it, that means maybe you want to know when did you like it or something like that, you know? Yeah.
You wanna know, yeah.
So and for views, what you're gonna say the writer of a post has an analytics page. I'm not sure. I've never asked a question on. Did someone ever ask a question on Quora? That would be a very nice, actually, piece of information. Too bad. So say they have an analytics page, right? Saying in the first 10 minutes of your post, already 100,000 people watched it, like saw it, right? So there's extra information. When was the view created? It's not going to be updated, or maybe it could even be updated if you return back, right? So again, how many people have watched your answer twice? Maybe you answered it, but someone came back to it. Say the user has an analytics page where they provide it and sell it. So if you want to have extra information about your questions, pay us, buy a premium account, right? So that's a type of things you should just try to think through, is because, again, like we talked before, when you start implementing it and then you just think of, oh, damn it, like I need this information, that information, I cannot do it anymore. So that kind of things are good to think about, generally. But again, if you just make it incrementation and just increments the views, it's all right, and later you change it, it's still all right. But I just want you to develop the way of like trying to see for many ways of what is it. So there's more upvotes and downvotes, so it's just like likes. And again, the answers can even have comments. So it's like posts can have answers and answers can have comments, which are also commented by user. So user is also, like comments are going to have the user ID, and the one user can have many comments, right? So there's more stuff here, like followers, so you can follow, share, maybe you store who shared it, and etc. etc. Okay, so does anyone actually has any more extra questions about this topic? No, it's all clear? That's very nice then. So let's take a short break. After the break, we're gonna do a simple algorithm game. So we're gonna do an algorithm, and we can just cut it short if you don't have any questions. We'll stay here if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to the tech park after, and then we can code there together. Yeah. So short break of say 10 minutes, and we come back, do algorithms. Don't run away.
Mes tikrinom tos sąrašus ir ten nebuvo iš tikrųjų manęs.
Aha, ir pažiūrėsim. Rezoliucija bus geresnė. Kuris pradingo? Kažkada tam.
Arba aš nepastebėjau.
Oi, ai, va, atsirado. Kaip jis vardas? Ne, nėra. O su Luku kalbėjot apie šitą ir kada mokslą apmokėjot kursą? Vakar. Tai gali būti, kad tada neįtraukiam dar. Nes kas, tarsi mes įtraukiam tik tai, kas jau žinom, kad tikrai yra ir bus. Tai Povilas? Kaip? Mikalainis. Taip?
Jo.
Super, gerai, tada kur čia buvot, o čia pasižymėsim.
Ja, tiesiog aš suprastinau šitus dalykus, nes...
Tai nebuvo pirmas dvi savo?
Ne, tai tiesiog aš... Čia mano brolis mokinės, tai jisai man pasakė, kad aš parašiau Lukus, kur yra vietų, nes iš principo tai jau buvo uždaryta ta sesija. Sako, jo, yra, tai aš nesakau, okei.
Super.
Wanna join.
Ir jūs darėt kursą kažkur kitur?
Jo, jis manęs nepaklausė, koks ten mano tas backgroundas, tai aš ten labai minimaliai pasimokinęs esu apie tą CSS, apie tą HTML. Tai ten kažkokį labai basiką turiu, bet jo, man bus įdomu pasižiūrėti tą pirmą savaitę, ką jūs ten veikiate.
Jo, tai aš nežinau, ar yra tas dar, reikia pažiūrėti tada tą kuponą prisijungimo, ar esi jau prisijungęs? Jau prisijungęs? Ok, cool. Tai
aš ten persižiūrėjau.
Jo, tai persižiūrėk, pabandyk žiūrėti tas užduotis ir ten yra du LinkedInas ir ten su jQuery, jo. Jas gerai yra labai gerai pasikartot, nes vis tiek to reikės to fronto šiek tiek, kažkiek jo reikės, nors tai nėra kertinis dalykas. O šią savaitę tai kol kas viskas aišku gerai, nes mes daugiausiai kalbėjom pirmadienį ir šiandien, kaip matot, yra tokia kartojimo ir tokia bendra kalbėjimo paskaita. O daugiausiai informacijos buvo pirmadienį. Tai, bet šiaip visą informaciją galima rasti pačiam kuriuo.
Čia buvo pirmadienis, ne?
Jo. Čia buvo pirmadienis ir tada tiesiog susirašyti šitą ir iš karto užduotis.
Tai tiesiog rytoj gal skirsiu daugiau laiko ir tada vis tiek rytoj čia susitinkate, ne?
Taip.
Nu va, tai tada gal atsinešiu kažkokių klausimų, nors...
Ok, super. Cool, puiku.
Koks planas čia toliau?
Dabar bus trumpa pertrauka, dar 10 minučių ir tada darysim tokį bendrą algoritmų, kaip vadinti, žaidimą.
O paskiau?
Paskaita baigs. Tai šiandien bus šiek trumpiau. Aš nežinau, kiek mes turime schedulę, ar 3 valandas ar 2 valandas šiandieninę, bet tikrai nėra reikalas šiandien tiek ilgai sėdėti, nes, kaip minėjau, gana plačiai mes pirmadienį viską apkalbėjom ir dabar yra toks kartojimas, tai jau geriau grįžti namo ir pradėti dirbti prie jau tų užduočių ir tvarkytis, negu sėdėti klasėje. Jo, tai va. Tinka? Viskas gerai?
Taip.
Visgi man reikia to workbench'o, nes ten negalima tokių skečų pasidaryti.
Zero fill unsigned. Čia iš tuos, jeigu čia, pavyzdžiui, binary inputas, bet jis man net nesižymi. Binary tai, vienas arba nulis. Va, pavyzdžiui, unique, jo, tai čia būtų...
Palauk, o kas čia? Čia primary key.
Not null. Tai čia, kad būtinai turi būti užpildytas.
Okay.
Tai čia primary key ir unique. Šių geriau paklausk Adomo, nes jisai daugiau patirties turi būtent su šituo.
Po default tai non-relational turėtų būti, ne?
Kaip?
Šitas jungtis. O tai kuo skiriasi, pavyzdžiui, tas linija ištisinė, kur ten tas va. Ir kur punktyrais.
Žiūrėk, 1 to 1, 1
Ne,
to...
tai tie yra ir toliau, žinok, ir jų yra daugiau. Tai jeigu tą...
Identifying relationship, non-identifying relationship. Nežinau. Vėl, pabandom paklausyti Adomą, nes jisai su šituo yra dirbęs, man atrodo, jis tikrai geriau žinos. Adomai? Tuoj. Tau klausimą turiu. Ką?
Sakau, moškai dyks.
Atnešk, konfrontuoti. Arba išlį.
Čia nežinau, aš pasižiūrėsiu, kad
Ne, bet įdomu ir man. Adomai, pažiūrėk.
kad jam labai nepadobu.
Tiek šiandien nepatogiai. Žiūrėk, yra relationships, non-identifying relationship ir identifying relationship. One-on-one.
Čia vėl workbench'as šitas kaip jisai dalykas.
Tai tiesiog savam reikalui tu esi išskiria?
Jo, čia skylė tokio dalyko nėra. Čia tikis kažkas palengvina, kad per šitą sukūrų. Nes aš asmeniškai pats darausi pats kūriu skilo maltą. Tiesiog su skill kažkokiu vieweriu žiūri kaip padaryti, o čia tokio retarded dalyko nenaudoju.
Bet čia mūsų užduotis, by the way, šitas retarded
Ne, tai čia, tai šitus tai tiesiog naudokit one-on-one. Ne, bet naudokite paprastus tiesiog, tai taškuot. Arba, aš niekada nemačiau net jau, niekada negavau tokio klausimo iš tikrųjų. Bet, naudokite šitai tiesiog.
Gerai, o
Aš
aš
tada
dar
iš
šitų
čia
nesuprantu. Gerai, čia primary key, čia not null, ar ne?
Not know.
Unique, kuo skiriasi tada primary key nuo unique index?
Unique indeksas tik vienas gali būti, tarkim, kai turi ID, eina kolona ir jisai turi tik vienas. Per lentelę unique indeksą turėti gali tik vienas stulpelis. Nes, tarkim, yra ID tavo.
Tai, o kuo tada tai skiriasi nuo primary key?
Va tiksliai, dar primary key yra.
Tikriausiai gali turėti daugiau primary key.
Abejoju, žinot.
Tai ryšiai yra visokiausi.
Nes primary gali tai daugiau. Kai mestų erą?
Aš manau, eksportint pabandyk. Arba tu eksportinsi, bet bandydamas implementinti į database, tau turėtų erą.
Tada lūš.
Jo. Nes primary key tik vienas per lentelę turi būti.
Ja.
Unique, man atrodo, irgi vėl.
Ne, unique tai tu gali kiek nori turėti. Jie vis tiek gali būti
kad
unique.
nesikartotų tiesiog.
Ne, tu gali turėti unique ID ir unique emailas, irgi bus unique abudu. Gali būti.
Bet niekas taip nedaro.
Ne, tai ID, bet kokia ID bus emailas, tai darai unikus. Tu 2 kartus neregistruosi userį su to pačiu emailu. Emailas unique ir ID unique, bet tai kodėl primary key daugiau leidžia? O čia klausimas.
Nes to tikrai neturėtų leisti. Pabandyk intą nustatyti.
Ką?
Antrą, tą ID intą.
Nuo softo.
Bet tai kažkaip taip neturėtų atstatyti. Tu pabandyk bet kur sukurtas tikrai
Šiaip ne.
pasirodo, ta prasme. Nenik šitas tai jo.
Nu, pradėjom šitą, išsiaiškinam su šitais.
Šitam tai iš viziją naudodavau, kur gintelį.
O kas tas binary tenais, kur turi nurodyti, kas tai yra?
Koks binary?
Nu, irgi vienas iš
Binary
tų-
tai,
ką
nu,
tai
binary šitas, true, false.
A, tai boolean.
Jo,
tada.
ten true, false. Nu, binary yra 1-0,
Ai, nu bet jis
bet tu
atitinka
tu
tą
jo, tu
boolean.
atitinka.
Lenteles ir kai nors kūrėt tiem kitokiam sistemom, tai žiūrėkit, supportintų ir senesnės versijas. Nes tarkim yra naujausiai MySQL versijai, tarkim yra JSON. Duomenų tipas JSON. Bandai išsieksportinti, nuvarai importinti kokį senesnį, užlūžta.
Nu, mes tai čia dar nieko neeksportuosim ir neimportuosim.
Aš nusisinčiu šitą savo ir aš nusiųsiu šitam pažįstamui. Kas dirba su šitą.
Gal čia tiesiog nėra jokio čeko šitam.
Ne, bet, nu,
įrankiui,
bet čia logika kertasi, nes primary key. Jo, pasižiūrėsim. Aš tau parašysiu tada. Kodėl čia. Šiandien nuvažiuojam taisyti ir šiandien jau gausit viską. Jau kai kurie gavo atsakymus. Adomas iš... Kaip?
Dėl vieno būtas.
Adomas jau taisė.
Nu, ten tikrai nežiūrėkit, nes aš ten be rankai dariau, kad kuo greičiau tikrai nebuvo galima 100 kartų geriau padaryti, bet aš kaip su frontendu dirbu, tai tiesiog aš nekreipiu dėmesio.
Nu, mes va dabar iš karto paskaitos taisysim. Pabaigsim taisyti. Nes Adomas jau taisė, aš dar ne, šiandien pabaigsim.
Tai tavo tas jau buvo, man į darbą tampa.
Jo. Kaip? Teoriškai galima ir papasakoti tiesiog. Nu taip, bet nu gerai ir tas su softu, nes va irgi dabar va klausimų iškyla ir nu reikia priprasti prie šito, gal ir patogiau.
Ką reiškia tas mark column as unsigned?
Ne, čia intas, signed arba unsigned, into tikriausiai.
O čia gali irgi pažymėti.
Leidžia čarus žymėti? Ne, čarų neleidžia.
Ai, okei, tai čia
Inta.
skaičiai.
Čia intai. Čia, nes integer gali būti signed arba unsigned. Tai yra signed integer, tai yra maksimumas, yra...
Ai, čia papasakojai
Šitas 1, 2, 1, 4, 7, 3,
Ką čia reiškia?
2, 1, 4, 7, tai
Čia data type, ne? Gaunas,
4, 8, 3, 6.
Bet čia tas unsigned, tai tik tais teigiami skaičiai yra. Taip išeina.
6, 4. Tai va, yra 6, 4, ne. Nu, nesvarbu, yra didelis skaičius, tai yra, jeigu jis yra signed, tai gali būti pliusas arba minusas. Tai reiškia, jis eina nuo šito, o minusai yra 8. Jo, tai čia yra signed. Unsigned bus, kadangi jie negali būti neigiami, jie visuomet bus teigiami, šito nebus, bet jis eis iki 4, kažkaip 2 kart daugiau, nes jis gali tilpti. Jo? Tai pavyzdžiui, jeigu tu kažką darai, yra eilutė žmogaus amžiaus, nu, tikriausiai nėra tokio amžiaus, bet žmogaus amžius, sakykime, limitas būtų 5, jo, tai unsigned, tai signed būtų plus minus 5, 5 arba 6, sakykime, unsigned tu galėtum eiti iki 12. Tai žinodamas, kad nėra neigiamo amžiaus, tiesiog gali daryti unsigned, tai reiškia, jie visada bus teigiami. Ir taip tu galėsi sutaupyti vietos, nes jų daugiau tilps.
O tas R column is zero fill?
Tai ten kitas buvo not null. Zero fill.
Kaži, tai reiškia...
Čia dar pilna. Auto increment. Tai va, auto increment, tai pavyzdžiui, čia yra ID. Tai ID automatiškai inkrementina, jo? Šitus reiktų paminėti garsiai. Generated. Kas ten dar?
Bad user interface.
Default expression.
Default expression.
Tai čia default value. Tai pavyzdžiui, integer default value gali 0 turėti. Ja? Tai jeigu neduodi jokio value, bus 0.
Default.
Ja. Default.
Pavyzdžiui, mes kalbame, kad geras yra to, kad galima taipinti viską, ten deitinti visą kitą, tai galima tų kelių viską sutalytę tiesiog suspaudinėti suprastai ir deitinti visą kitą.
Jo, tai yra vizualus šitas interface. Ja. Labai populiaru dabar iš tų visų, tipo, išiminėti iš terminalo ir panašiai ir dėti vizualius šitos. Nu, tipo, kad žmonėm būtų...
Kad nereiktų kodėl.
Jo, nereiktų. Dabar, tipo, visi bando kuo mažiau programuoti. Ne, sakiau, Aiva, radau šitos skaičius. Ne, kalbėjom, kad dabar labai daug tų visual interface'ų viskam kūrė. Tai, pavyzdžiui, MySQL'as panašus ir ten, pavyzdžiui, ten... tie viskie vyks ir panašiai kurti webus, nu, kad nereiktų programuoti. Tai tipo, yra programeriai, kurie šitos, kad nereiktų programuoti. Tai va, čia yra, tai signed eina nuo čia iki čia, unsigned gali būti 4, 2, tai 2 kart daugiau, jo? Tai čia yra tie oficialūs skaičiai. Jau visi sugrįžę? Ne? Jo, skaičiau. Okay, let's continue. So now, like I said, it's gonna be we're gonna go through algorithms, but more simple ones. So again, I always try to show you that like programming is more of a way of thinking and planning and foreseeing and that kind of things than actual syntax or knowing how to write stuff, and that's a very important skill. So actually, you can close your laptops for this one. And first of all, we're gonna do some simple like algorithms, and then later we're gonna play a simple algorithm game. So let's not get to groups just yet. So now try to write a function on a piece of paper, of course, not your computer. So the input of a function is a number. So the input is integer of a number, and second argument integer of a power, and you have to return the number to the power of, right? So if I say 2 and 3, you have to return 8 because it's to the power. So yeah? 4 times 4, 16, yeah. Yeah? So you get two integers and you return, so not console, return another integer that is the power. So you can use these three examples just to test the algorithm. Yeah? So we should give it like 10 minutes, and then someone's gonna present it. Huh?